All right, I must share my screen. Okay, let me know when you guys see it. Yep, you guys see it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go with Alice first. Alice, you're working on, you're in progress actually. So you're working on vector database with Postgres, GCP. Any estimate of how long this will take?
I have a outline of what I need to do. I think I will just deploy it on Kubernetes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. I just lost the window. But yeah, okay. So
All right. How about
um,
2 days?
uh, let's just do end of the week.
Okay. So what is that? November.
November 10th.
Okay. And we need to assign you.
Version. Hmm.
Assign else. Okay. All right. The other card is deploying. It's called Open Chat. It's a fine-tuned model of Mistral 7B. I played around with Mistral 7B yesterday. Thanks, Alice, for setting that up. It's not very good. So I played around with Open Chat and their public. It's pretty much open source Chat GPT, and it's really good. So let's try standing up. Uh, their LM model. So the point of this is we don't want to store any sensitive data in our vector database or in calling it out to OpenAI, right? So we're going to have, when we're doing the ingestion process, we'll have like the pipeline. The pipeline first goes and sends a message or messages to not deprecate, detect if there's any sensitive information that's possibly a violation of a regulation, and then redact it, and then specify like, oh, redacted birth date, possible PHI violation. Uh, so that way we never send, because we're not going to have a BAA agreement with OpenAI, right? So you can't store PHI or anything like that. Same thing with credit cards. If someone accidentally puts a credit card number in Slack, and then we're storing on our end, we're in violation because we're storing their stuff. So we need a within our network before we send it anywhere, scrub all that stuff. So hence the need for a private model. So we just need to find the best one that's also cost effective. So we'll come back to that one once you're done with the Postgres.
Wait, so why are we not let's say using OpenAI's new offerings? They have already private GPTs for enterprise. Like it's live.
Well, I just said we're not going to have a BAA agreement. That's a
Um,
business agreement that you have that you say, hey, you're going to take care of our HIPAA data for us.
okay.
Same thing with credit cards. We can't be sending credit cards over to a third party. We need to detect that someone did it and then scrub it. We don't ever store on disk someone's credit card or personal identification that's a possible violation. Make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll ask you more later.
Okay. Uh, FedEx Stripe integration for Google.
Yes, for Google Tag. Um, I was able to show the amount on the front end,
Uh-huh.
but I don't think we need to store it on our database. It's already on Stripe, so yeah, I guess just showing it on our front end should be enough to send the
We just need to set it in their JavaScript, right?
right. So yeah, I will review. I think they sent there something on our previous email. So yeah, the thing is, I think I don't have access to see the Google Tag events to see if they have the right value.
There's remember when we were on the call with them, they had a tag assistant. There's a website. You specify, I don't remember what it was, but I'm sure you can Google it, which is.
Do I have access to that? I guess that's like on your email, or I don't know who
You
owns that
just
account.
he told it to us in the meeting. I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay.
But it's like tagassistant.google.com. You specify the domain, and then it reads the tags for you.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
But if you have the data there, then I'll set up the call with them to move us forward. Okay, so that one's on we don't have a blocked column, but that's blocked. This, we're just going to move forward with GPT-4 moving forward. So this we can
we
scrap.
can cancel this one.
So we'll just delete. Okay, and let's see the other stuff. So for you, Fede, is the transition over to use GPT, what do we call Assistant API?
Yeah.
What's an estimate? I know that if we were just doing it straightforward, it's easy, but those are corner cases.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't even know the corner cases, so we can't estimate this yet.
Okay, so you want to do a half-day spike?
Okay. We want to use just GPT-4 on the meantime until we have this. I guess it's just like a one-line change.
What do you mean? Like that code that?
Yeah, but that's for the assistant. Is not using just GPT-4. Assistant is like a different API.
It's that sample code I sent you yesterday has the model in there and the assistant.
Yeah,
ID.
but I mean, we can like change just keeping everything as we have now, but using GPT-4.
Yeah, you're just updating the
And then we
OpenAI
use
service
the
file.
assistant. Yeah. Oh, you already did that?
I didn't do it. Well, I was going to, then I was like, oh, there's all these corner cases that this would be a long, possibly a long development cycle to get all the corner cases.
But do you mean just using GPT-4 or the assistant API?
Assistant API.
Oh, no, I mean just using GPT-4 for now until I have this done. So Haley uses GPT-4, just different tasks.
Yeah, so if you want to make that quick change, you can update it. Use the new preview turbo one. It's the same one that's listed in there. So okay. So half-day spike, and then we can discuss tomorrow. Let's see here. Anything else? How are these tests coming along? Is this done?
Yeah, should. I mean, we can keep the tasks for keep adding some different tests, but yeah, those one are done.
Okay. Any other part you want to discuss before we jump over to Europe? Did you need certain APIs for the modal?
No, for now, I'm not using a model. I just created a function that you give it like the messages, the links, and the like the users you want to use, and it will return like a block. That's what Slack uses to show modals or just regular messages. And I guess Yura or I Can Do It needs to use that function, and just when you send the message, it will have the right format.
Okay. Yeah, just playing around with it. It's you guys should try it. It just like I asked it how many blogs I did, and then it went and found within the last month or this current month, it found all my messages that I posted when I say, oh, I did 3 blogs or 4 blogs or whatever, and then totaled them. And then I said, actually, no, I actually did 18. And then I asked the question again, then it updated it. So.
Oh, and now I see that now it's like following the links, so we will see the message, the actual message, and not only the link.
So it's
yeah,
looking pretty
working.
good. So I'm urging you guys to get me this in production as soon as possible, so I can have the beta testers look at it and give feedback. Even if it's not even the modal, that's fine. I just need this in production so I can start getting feedback. Have them start kicking the tires. So we're gonna probably have some people put up to enterprise. They'll need a index whatever amount, and then they can start doing it. So we're eventually going to need that message that says, hey, I'm indexing this channel. I'll let you know when I'm done. And then, hey, I'm done. All right. Yura, how about on your end?
Hey. So I guess we have a separate project for semantic search.
Is it a tag or something?
I get projects. Could you? Yeah, but I didn't update it, so I'm not frequently updating it. I guess we need to. Most of that is done, and we need to close them and create new tickets.
Okay. What's the thing you're working on or been working on today?
Yeah. So today I was improving the indexation service. I replaced, so it was executed with the standard Python server, and I replaced it with VSGI. And I also added authentication. So whenever task is published, it is signed with a special token, so that when you take when Google makes a request to execute the task to our service, we check that this task was created by us, and because it's a public service currently.
Okay.
So there was a technical debt that I had on my list, and I just got back to it.
Any other technical debt that we should be aware of?
So currently, when a message in a thread is updated, I update the whole thread, the indexes for the whole thread. It was the simplest solution at the time when I was working that. So task doesn't allow you to work with individual messages in the thread. You can only fetch the whole thread, right? As far as I remember, it doesn't have iterators or pages to work with threads. So and we also have summaries, right? That needs to be rebuilt every time a thread changes.
So every time you're doing like, you have a lot of threads that are being updated at the same time, and then you do a batch. How often is the batch for summaries happening?
Batch for summaries? What do you mean by that?
Like if you have multiple threads with Haley in it and someone modifies a previous message, are you updating the summary right then and there, like on every new message, or it's every?
Yes. Now, yes, but we shouldn't do that.
That's going to get expensive, right? Because we're doing an expensive call.
Yes.
Especially doing summaries, like at the biggest, you can do 128K. That's $1 something per API call.
Yes. Yeah. I mentioned it the other day. We need some kind of delay when a thread isn't updated for a certain time. We then decide to build the summary to rebuild the summary. But that's not trivial, so I left that for future.
So we call that batching, updated threads, summary of.
Yeah. So you can call it. You can use any name now, and I'll update if needed. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
And we probably need some kind of logs for indexation of indexation processes that happen within the same workspace. So currently it's limited by Slack API.
Mhm.
If you start indexing a lot of channels within the same workspace, they will hit Slack API at the same time, these processes, and they will get a lot of errors, right?
Yeah.
From Slack. And I guess we have to control that by ourselves. Have some kind of log that will limit the number of concurrent indexation happening for the same workspace. Yeah, so currently there is no control for that on our side.
Yeah, that makes sense. So right now, let's say that you start hitting the rate limit. We have like a back off, retry.
Yes, but that's a very awful approach.
Yeah, so yeah, if you can do it where you're like, all right, we know we have X amount of messages per minute, and then you're doing it smoothly.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
opposed to like anybody go crazy and see if you can get in.
Yeah. And yeah, so do we plan to roll out semantic search to production without Postgres database?
Yeah, I mean we'll swap it. I'm just doing, getting feedback on the usage and how good it is. Just I'm looking at it going, oh, this is amazing. Let's see if other people think it's amazing. And then it's really good at auditing. I don't know if you saw my queries, but it's able to, I can specify a time frame, the type of violation I'm looking for, and it'll flag that message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was also surprised that it found this card number message, because so embedding somehow connect card number to PCI violation words in the sense of context. That's surprising.
So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the good thing is that we won't have to migrate data from Pinecone to Postgres. We can just trigger reindexation of the whole thing, and it will generate approximately the same data for Postgres.
Yeah, I'm not worried about backward compatibility for any beta tester or even ourselves, right? We'll switch over and we'll reindex. We'll remove the app and re-add it and let it do its thing.
We also have the issue with dates. You remember that so we don't know the user's time zone. So we currently display everything in UTC. And we don't.
Did you get GPT-4 to do that conversion? Like if you say this user is.
I just don't pass it over. So I don't take the. So how do I know the user's time zone? I need to.
I think that's the API, right?
I need to make a call to Slack to get it.
I think so.
So
it knows, Slack knows your time zone.
Yeah, so that's not a big deal, and GPT can then handle conversions, but that just needs to be implemented.
Yeah. So let me put a card there. Handle time zones.
Also, I once mentioned that it could be a good idea to embed the current date into the query, which we use for Pinecone, and then because it will match more recent dates. So it's currently not enabled for the version in master, but it's working pretty well. Maybe we don't need that.
Yeah, I was able to figure out for my question about how many blogs I did that I knew it was November, and it only gave me the number for November.
Because you it's not gonna. So the limit is 30 messages right now. It fetches only 30 messages from Pinecone, and GPT has no way to count previous messages. If there were like 100 messages from you about new blogs, it just doesn't get into the context which is provided to GPT.
Right.
So GPT has no way to conclude that. And also, I think that the current implementation might be a bit expensive because we use about 2,000 or 3,000 tokens for the context. So it's maybe up to 6 cents per query. So I don't know.
That's fine because we're charging $7 a user per month. Depends how often people are doing queries.
Yeah. So you can
But,
check.
Like I said, let's not worry too much. When it's obvious, like if you're trying to do a GPT-4 call for each message, like, okay, that's just going to blow us out of the water. So within reason, don't worry too much about money. We'll optimize later.
Yep. You can actually, it would be nice to check out what's the current expense for that.
Let me see. See what our bill's not that high, but it's probably going to jump up tenfold. So our current spend, I think the most we ever spent in a month was like $30. But I can imagine now it would go up to like 300. So in November, we've only spent $3.
What about yesterday?
Yesterday, here, we spent $1.91.
Okay.
No, wait, that's November 6th was 54 cents. November 7th was 37 cents. That's
Okay.
today. So
that can cause users to pay more for their subscriptions, right?
yeah, we might have to raise prices.
Yeah. Because we will pay a lot to OpenAPI. I believe.
So I'm just hoping that a few months from now, some open source LLM comes out that can match what GPT-4 is doing, and then we can host it and switch over. So we'll start with OpenAI, but eventually I want to get towards just like fully open source and not to be dependent on a third party, because these guys, they're losing money, right? They have all these GPUs for the free version, and they're just burning through credits they got through Amazon or Microsoft. Eventually, they're gonna be like, the investors are gonna say, "Hey, you got to start making, a profit," and then they're gonna start doing what Google's doing. All these companies that are like ratcheting up prices or doing sneaky stuff to increase their revenue. So OpenAI is not there yet, but eventually it's going to happen where they're going to have to start like increasing prices or,
Yeah.
So we don't become too dependent on OpenAI.
Yep. But at the same time, to find a free model that can have the same level of reasoning and everything.
Yeah, it's going to take time. Might be 6 months from now, might be a year from now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's see here. On my side, did a few blogs, did a video. So I tried to post a video about like the coolest open source project of the month. So I post that on TikTok and LinkedIn and stuff. Worked a little bit on our NSF proposal. Need to keep working on that. And I still need to do when you sign up for a free tier that you get an email. That's still on my to-do list. Been trying to see if they have the GPTs, the new thing that they announced yesterday. That's not out yet. I think they're rolling it out this week. But I want to create a bot that knows our code that does customer service, and a bot that knows our code that we put into GitHub, so people can just like chat with it to learn the code base if they want to, which I think would be very cool. And then I've been doing more LinkedIn outreach and waiting for our one explainer video that we're doing for Easy Audit. So I gave some feedback there for making the video better. And then I messed up our marketing website. So we're moving a section. I didn't like the spacing, but I didn't know that the spacing to that section was tied to the rest of the website. So our website was kind of out of whack yesterday. So I fixed that. And other stuff that I forgot. Problem is instead of checking off my to-do list, I just delete the line altogether. So Fede, you guys are on the hook for a talk on the 5th. So it's less than a month now. Fede, your talk's on 10 minutes to build a bot in Slack. You're talking about semantic search in Slack. Both of you are respective experts in that stuff. So let me know, because I can generate any kind of, I've been doing like the marketing stuff now and generating and using images and doing Photoshop and that sort of stuff. I'm doing videos. So whatever you need in terms of editing, images, Photoshop, let me know. I'm happy to help.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Anything else? No? All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys. Bye.